Greetings and welcome to Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show. I'm your host, Beverly Brown, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. It's going to be a great program. And what is Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show all about? It's talking to everyday people about their goals, their dreams, their visions, but mainly about the obstacles they have to face to get to the place where they are presently, in hopes that someone will see the program, connect with that person, and understand whatever it is that they went through. If they overcame it, then you should be able to do that as well. That this is the Creative Consulting Dreams YouTube channel. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for alerts for future programs that's happening along the way. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you somebody that I just recently met, because our executive producer's wife says she is somebody we just had to have on this show, and I just totally agree. So without any further ado, I want everybody to meet Miss ELISIA Manuel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm honored and thankful, and I feel very blessed to be here with you today. My name is ELISIA Manuel, and I'm a wife to an amazing husband that I met in high school 24 years ago. Mm-hmm. We've been married for 17 years, and we have 3 beautiful children. I'm that crazy mom of 2 8-year-olds and a 7-year-old.
I can't wait to tell that story.
I live here in Arizona, born and lived here my whole life, mm-hmm. and I currently am a recruiter for a company called A Place to Call Home.
Wonderful. And even before we go further, in case nobody noticed, she's wearing a crown. And I want to talk about that right now, because you just got crowned how recent ago? This is what, August the 18th today, and how recently did you just get crowned?
This was 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago, and it's
yes,
Miss...
It is Miss Ultimate Elite Ambassador for 2022.
22.
Yes. So
God.
this is an amazing organization that I found that they really embrace volunteerism.
Okay.
It's not about, how we normally hear beauty queens.
Chrissy.
And and I was like, who, me? No, I can't do that. Like, I'm chubby. Like, we don't do that. But it was about giving back, and that's something that I want to teach my daughter. She's 8 years old, and I want her to love others, give to others, and this Ultimate Elite does that. It's all about giving back and volunteerism, and so we both won. She's the she's the little one.
Your daughter won also.
Yeah, so she has her own little crown, so she's prancing around the house,
okay.
And so we both won a title that we both be doing a lot of work. And the really cool thing is that we were submitted our hours and just received a presidential award from the president.
Are you serious?
Yes. I received a bronze, and she received a gold medal. And it's a pin. It's a letter from the president for the work that we've been doing in the community.
For 2 weeks?
No, this is for a year. Yeah, for a year, a year long.
To say that was fast.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were getting that even before you were crowned, then?
Yeah, because we had a title of being a part of the organization,
right?
And doing volunteer work. So we had to submit our hours. So even during COVID, we were putting together family engagement bags, giving homeless food.
Oh my goodness.
I love to meet people. I love to go out, and I love to serve. Mm-hmm. So that was the way that we could do that. And with my organization, she helps me. She's my little helper. And so we put popcorn bags together, and
just a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
And mainly was in the Phoenix, Arizona area, wherever it was needed, whenever someone called and needed the volunteers.
Yeah, and so I work a lot with Native communities,
okay.
And I have people that I work with. So we had engagement bags going to different tribes, and they would pick them up for me and deliver them to their communities. We've given out toys, and like I said, April is Prevention Month, so we had a friend of mine make blue popcorn, and they went out and gave out hundreds of blue popcorn in bins, and just really trying to be active even during such a crucial time of COVID. I wanted my daughter to, know that it's important to give and to love others.
And that's the beautiful thing that, if you got to teach the children young, and once they learn, that's the greatest part. But I want to go right back to the one big point. Like I said, the executive producer and my makeup artist, who could not be with us today, Carissa Rose, induced you to go for this crown because, like you said, you thought it was because you had to be small and you had to be petite, and you looked at all the other beauty pageants. But Carissa herself is a testament, because how many pageants she's won, it's just been amazing. So I'm just glad that she pushed you to go forward. And who knew that you were going to win even on the first time that you even, went into a pageant, correct?
Yes.
That was your first time.
Yeah, so I've been participating now for, I guess it's been 3 years, and 2 years really just actively been involved with this organization. In 2020, I participated in the Mrs. United States of Arizona and won first runner-up, which I was so shocked. I was like, what? Like, no way, but it's just been such a blessing to meet amazing women that are doing amazing things. Because again, it's not about just a beauty pageant,
right?
And it's not.
Please, definitely emphasize that, because there are a lot of young people out there that are thinking that they can't be beautiful or enter into pageants or do anything because of their size. And that's not even what it's about. It's about what's in your heart.
Yes.
What do you want to do? And I'm so glad that they even, came up with something to represent that, because there are hundreds of beauty pageants and they represent different things.
Right.
So I'm just happy to hear about that.
And like I said, I do this for my daughter, because about a year and a half ago, she came to me and said she wanted me to smooth her hair. She has curly hair. Smooth her hair, and she wanted it blonde.
Wow.
And I'm like, where is she getting this from? I'm like, baby, you're beautiful the way you are.
Right.
You don't need to have smooth blonde hair, And she's like, but it looks nice on other people. Yeah, but you look nice just the way that you are. So I wanted her to know and realize that you don't have to be somebody else. You can be exactly who you are, because your beauty comes within.
Exactly.
So, yes.
That's a beautiful thing. So we've talked about that as far as your personal things, but mainly I want to definitely find out about some of your background, because it's so interesting how you thought that you were actually Hispanic for several years of your life before you found out your heritage. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, I grew up with my father had full custody of me and a stepmom. Thought I was Hispanic. I mean, we knew that
Didn't know your mom.
My mom, she had her own situation going on. So Dad raised me. Stepmom in the life. She's Native American, and so we grew up going to cultural events. Me and my brothers and sister, and we participated in those activities. My dad had got sick with an aneurysm several years ago, and like I said, I knew that we were Native, but I really didn't know our background because we weren't raised personally. My dad didn't tell us about our Apache side. So I'm Hispanic and Apache from actually my mother's side and my father's side, which I didn't know until this past decade. Like these years,
about 30 years you said.
I grew up just really thinking that I was Hispanic. But now I'm starting to know more. Right. My kids are Native American. My husband is Native American from Gila River Indian Community. So they're enrolled members. Right. And they're my world. And so I really feel like culture is really important.
Yes, it is.
For anybody that wants to know their culture. And I'll tell you this one story. 3 years ago, I received a gift from an elder. And when an elder gifts you a gift, it's priceless.
Yes,
I'm sure. She had gifted me a traditional camp dress.
Wow.
Beautiful camp dress. And I picked it up from her granddaughter, and I drove out to the White Mountains to pick it up. And when I got home and put this on, tears flowed down my eyes.
Feel it. You could feel the intersection.
Felt like that locket in my heart finally connected.
Wow.
Like I felt like I was together. All these years that I was not connected, I finally felt like a piece of me just came together.
And I'm more sure she blessed it, prayed over it, and
Absolutely.
everything else, and probably the ancestry and the heritage you felt as you slipped it on. So I'm so happy that, that experience. It's kind of like I say when I go to Africa, I says, I know I'm going to feel the land and I'm going to feel the spirit of my ancestors, when that happens. So when you brought up about the 3 kids, because that's what you named your organization, right? It's called 3 Precious Miracles.
Yeah. So
and that's just beautiful that you have those 3 beautiful, wonderful kids to do that with. So what does your organization do?
So 3 Precious Miracles is named after my kids. TPM is their names, Tecumseh, Precious, and Micah, TPM. And it's an organization's mission is to keep culture connected, to provide resources to Native kids in foster care and to their families. And a lot of Native kids are placed in non-Native homes. So my mission was and is to keep that cultural connection,
right?
Even though they're in non-Native homes. So we'll put on cultural events. We've done powwows. We've done. We just recently in April did an equine therapeutic horse egalia event with families. And so we had at least 80 people come out. The kids come out. They got to be with the horses. And the families got to engage in a powwow with our drummers and singers. We got to give them some education about background.
Good. So look how that's happening and coming full circle now that, didn't know what your heritage was, and now you're coming back, and now you want to give back to that community and to your ancestors as well. So that's a beautiful thing that's happening. And while we're talking about that, I know you just told me that you just recently transitioned from another job, and I really want people to hear this testimonial of how that happened and how when you pray to God, how he answers prayer. So you were on a job for 18 years doing what?
16 years I was at my job, and I've been in this department, started, as a bookkeeper and was the director's admin assistant and did outreach, and I loved my job. I helped people every day. But during COVID, we were stuck at home, and
what was the name of the company?
Gila River Indian Community.
Okay.
It was the Employment and Training Department.
Okay.
So we helped clients find jobs, breaks down barriers to find employment.
Right. Okay.
And I love that. I love helping people. And I thought that was my calling. But during COVID, I was stuck at home. I realized how more severe my son's autism was.
Okay.
And so people started going back to work, 75%. I started going back to work, and my son had a breakdown. He was didn't understand. He's 8.
Yes.
Didn't understand why mom was leaving. It was another disruption in his life. That when you're autistic, you have to have a routine. And when that routine was broken from stop going to school to online school, mom being home all the time.
Yes, so much going on.
It just really caused an emotional breakdown in him. And me as his mom, I've had him since he was 5 days old, a premature little baby, it broke my heart to see my son like that. So every morning I would go out and I would pray, God, what do you want me to do? I would tell my husband, do I quit my job? And then he'd say, go ahead, babe. If you want to quit, we'll be okay. And I kept thinking to myself, I can't put this burden on you. And I knew that God was going to provide because he provided me when I prayed for my kids years before. And after a few weeks, I got a call from a friend of mine, and he said, what will it take for you to come work for us?
Now, if that's not God, I don't know what is. Somebody calling you with an offer.
I about fell on the floor, Beverly. I was like, excuse me? This is so amazing because, again, I didn't go and apply for the job. Because I thought I was where I was needing to be, and I thought I had to quit my job.
And he called you, asking you what would it take, first of all, and then you told him you had limited hours because you wanted to spend time with your son. And
I wanted to work from home, and this gave me that opportunity. It gave me the opportunity to be a recruiter, coordinator
for Native Americans.
So I get to recruit. My whole goal is to recruit foster parents. So if anybody is out there, if you're looking to be a foster parent, please get a hold of me. I'm at a place to call home.
Okay.
And the state of Arizona has over 14,000 children that are in foster care.
Wow.
And so we could use foster parents. And my goal, and it's been on my heart for a long time, to be perfectly honest, that this is where my passion was. And God finally handed it to me and said, you can be home, be with your child, which you've been asking me to do.
Doing the dream. And you said you got a bonus and the pay and everything else.
It just all worked out to be where
awesome.
I needed to be, so I wouldn't suffer. And my family, I wouldn't feel like I was putting everything on my husband, and I could still be there.
Just God.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Who calls anybody up and asks them, what would it take, for you to work for my company? I'll give you this amount of money, and, you'll be able to do this. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
So say the name of the company you work for again, and you're looking to recruit foster parents. Doesn't matter about ethnicities or what.
Yep. I work for, it's called A Place to Call Home.
Okay.
You can email me at Manuel, so my ELISIA, MANUEL, at aplacetocallhome.com. And, or you can get me on my regular email, ElisiaManuel@gmail.
And we'll make sure to have that.
And yeah, we're looking for foster parents. We do foster parents with anybody that's interested. Like, I just want kids to have a loving parent.
Right.
I really feel like that is so important for a child to come home and know what they're going to have for dinner, or maybe a mom to give them a hug and say, baby,
absolutely,
we love you. Like, I just really feel that that's important.
And it's about 14,000 kids, you're saying?
Just here in Arizona.
Just here in Arizona.
Just here.
And can you tell them maybe the small criteria that's required for that? Is there something limited you can say that you're allowed to say as far as the requirement for becoming a foster parent?
Well, we do foster parent college. So you go through a 9-week session trainings with us. You have to have a fingerprint clearance card.
Okay.
You have to have CPR and first aid certification.
Okay.
So if you call me or you get a hold of me, I'll call you up and we'll set up a little Zoom interview, or I can go to your house and check it out. We do want families to have a room for the child.
Of course.
And yeah, I mean, you have to be able to pass the background check and go through the trainings. But I know that there's a lot of people that want and just don't know
that it's available just like that.
Yeah.
And they do, of course, give them a stipend every month for the child and everything.
Yes. So for the organization, they are multi-funded contracts. So we work with not only the state, but we also work with different tribes. And so, yeah, it's pretty amazing from what I'm seeing right now. Of course, in every group, we could. There's just such a huge need.
I mean, 14,000 kids, and that's just Arizona. And is that Phoenix, or are we talking about the entire state of Arizona?
So that's representing the state.
The whole state.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you can reach out to anybody anywhere in Phoenix itself.
Yeah, and if anybody's like, say if somebody's...
I'm saying Phoenix is the city.
Yeah.
In the city of Phoenix, state of Arizona.
State of Arizona.
That's what I want to clarify to them, because they might think it's just Phoenix, So you're talking about the state of Arizona itself. Yeah. So that's a huge thing for foster parents, people that are out there that want to have kids. If you can't have kids, or, I mean, even we're talking people that are now their kids are gone and they still want kids to fulfill them. I mean, it's open. 14,000 children, people.
And
please.
You really, I mean, if you just have the love in your heart to not, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
Being able to even volunteer to be a mentor, or finding an organization that takes toothbrushes and toothpaste. Kids go into the system sometimes and get removed from homes with absolutely nothing. So they don't have socks and they don't have underwear. I mean, simple things like that you could pick up on your local weekly shopping and donate it to an organization. My organization accepts things like that.
So you need to let them know that too, that you accept that as well.
We accept used and new items, clothing-wise. We try to do backpack giveaways, shoes, socks, and underwear. To kids that are in care, because it happens all the time. It may be grandma that gets the call. So you need stuff stored for when it happens that fast, because you might have a child available and you have to call somebody up and say, here, come and pick up the child, and you'll need the supplies to give it to them right then and there. Yeah. So that's amazing. Yeah, I remember one call was on Thanksgiving, and there was a removal of 11 kids. And after my Thanksgiving dinner, I was in my garage. This is before I had a little office. Was in my garage finding clothes, shoes, socks, so that we could get it over to the case manager to give to these kids, because nothing was salvageable at their home. So yeah, if people can't foster, it's okay.
Wow.
They could definitely donate or just volunteer their
mentor.
time at one of the amazing organizations. I'm not the only one, and I have amazing friends that run other organizations. And get a hold of them. If they're in your local area, go donate your time there.
Well, what they're going to do is call you. They'll start right then and there, and I'm sure you can lead them to where they need to go. So this is just incredible. I'm sorry we just have this short amount of time to explain it, because you have so much that you have to offer. I mean, I'm just so happy that, you know, Carissa was saying so much about you. You know, she looks up to you, and she definitely appreciates everything that you've been doing. And she said, you know, you're somebody that definitely needs to tell their story. So I'm glad you're here. And before I say the end of it, I heard you say some encouraging things to some people on a Facebook thing. What would you like to say to encourage someone, speaking to the camera, about, you know, what would they need to do as far as obstacles or anything else in that, you know, not giving up on their dreams?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I was just a regular person that had a vision in my head, and I had the vision to do an organization, and today happens to be our 7-year anniversary of being a nonprofit organization for the state. So what I would encourage you, if you have a vision, or if you have the dream, or if you have a spice in your heart that wants to do something, you're going to feel discouraged. You may get let down. Somebody may talk about you down, but it's okay. Keep going, because it is all worth it in the end. You have others like Beverly that love you, that will support you, that can give you the tools that you need, that you might need. But don't give up, because there was times where I was sitting in my closet crying, is this going to work out? And I would get a call saying, we have 100 pairs of shoes for you, Elicia. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So don't give up. If you need some more encouraging words, please don't hesitate to look me up on, you know, if you look my name up, Elisia Manuel, you'll find me on Google.
Yes, you will.
If you look up 3 Precious Miracles and shoot me an email on there, I'll get it on my cell phone. But with all my heart, I just tell you to just know that you're worth it. You're amazing. If you thought of something that you could move forward, move it forward, because it'll be okay.
So I just want to say thank you so much for being on Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show. I hope a lot of people see this episode and connect with it. And please, people, there are a lot of kids out there that need your love and affection. So please don't hesitate to contact her. So thank you for joining us on Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show. I really appreciate you guys staying here, watching the entire episode. Please, it's Creative Consulting Dreams YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Hit the bell, which is for alerts for future episodes, because we have a lot more interesting programs coming up. And make sure you like the episode as well. And please leave a comment for Elicia. You said you might give somebody a prize.
I am. So if you once you do that, I love to give things away. Last week, me and my son gave away a $50 gift card for a restaurant. So like and subscribe, and I will put you in a drawing.
There you go. So thank you so much for joining Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show. We will talk to you soon. Love you. Take care.